You look like a queen. You
Thank
look
you
really,
so-
really good. It's so
Thank
good
you.
to see you again.
Thank you so
It's
much,
been
Mr.
quite a long
Harold.
time, and I can see from your agenda you've been really busy, and I'm glad of that.
Yes.
And I'm so glad to welcome you to the program and welcome you in the audience. We have a special guest today, and her name is Anna Mwalagho. And she was born and raised in Kenya, and she's multi-talented in the fullest sense of that word, as an actress, a poet, a dancer, singer, songwriter, storyteller, and human being extraordinaire. And Anna, welcome, really, very, very much. I'm so pleased we could put it together.
Thank you, Mr. Harold. It's been a pleasure to have met you the first time.
Yep.
And now that you invited me to your studio to do this interview, I'm just blessed, and I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look very much like a princess or something.
Thank you.
You're born and raised in Kenya.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah.
Yes. I was born in Kenya, and I started performing at a very early age when I was 8 years old. And I was doing that in our elementary school, but in Kenya we call it primary school.
Primary, yeah.
Yeah, and I continued doing that even when I go to high school is when now I got so much energized. And I was joined an association for drama and theater.
Right.
And we would perform all over the country. And I was lucky enough to be the best actress chosen in that district. And even after I finished high school, before I decided to go to college, I was performing also professionally now in the main capital city of Kenya is Nairobi. So I was in Nairobi at that time, performing as a full-time artist, and I was blessed to be the best actress in all of Kenya in as a college student, and second in all of Kenya. Just like you have Oscars here, we have our own in Kenya. We call them Balamwezi.
Yeah, Bwalamezi.
Balamwezi, which means the full moon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. So I've been very blessed in terms of like continuing with my craft and now doing it as a full-time job.
Right.
Because I do sing, I act, I write a lot of poetry, I perform my poetry, and so I keep performing, I keep pushing it, and now I'm here in America, and I want to continue pursuing my love of art.
I'm here to testify. I was at that meeting of the African Chamber of Commerce in the United States, and you were there, and you were emceeing and carrying on, and it was an inspiration. I'm looking forward to giving you a chance to say some poetry and that sort of thing. And we had Mr. Diop there, remember? Mr. Siri.
Yes.
And there was a great group of people, including DJ Gaddafi.
Yes.
Do you remember DJ?
Yeah.
He had the shades?
Yes.
He was cool.
He was cool.
And you know what? He played, I liked him a lot. And he played music which was popular music from Africa, and it rocked.
It rocked. And
it really is good.
Yes.
You know, and we're getting some stuff from Africa now, rather than everything coming from here to Africa. We're beginning to get it now.
Exactly.
And not the least of which is you. You are here presenting true, authentic Africa.
Yes.
Not only folklore and so forth, but also popular culture.
Yes.
You have a band.
Yes, I do.
And we're going to have some excerpts from a band performance and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And I think it's just absolutely wonderful that you were a major talent at that thing, and I enjoyed meeting you and hearing your poetry. You had a thing about Africa. You did a poem, and I'm so happy to welcome you.
Thank you.
Couple of things, if I could. I see from your bio you speak Swahili.
Yes.
Now, I'm trying to think in terms of Kenya. They had Buganda, or they had... I'm trying to think of the structure. Swahili is a language, I don't know if it's a lingua franca, but you were in what was British colonized East Africa.
Yes.
And then you had in Uganda, you had a different culture. Uganda's a different country.
Yes.
Tribal identifications are very important and so forth.
Yes.
How do you, is there a native language to Kenya other than, what is it, what is the major tribe in Uganda?
In Kenya?
Not in Kenya, I was thinking Uganda.
Buganda is one of the tribes.
Buganda. And
they speak the Buganda.
Yeah, there was another one. And anyway, there are these groups. So what was your background, and also a little bit in that level, other than the colonial experience of Britain, which is obviously there, and your education was in a British pattern, I guess,
Yes.
and so forth. and then also your family a little bit.
Okay.
And about the Swahili language, there's English, obviously. Is there another language that you can speak other than Swahili?
Yes.
And set up a little bit of that as background for us who are far too ignorant about Africa to understand the realities of the African situation currently.
Okay, well, let me just start by saying that Kenya is in the East Africa region. And of course, you know that I think Africa is a continent and not a country. For those who think Africa is a country. Africa is not a country, but a continent.
Do you think it might be good if it could become a country? They're now African Union talking about the United States of Africa.
Yes, and I do that. I talk about that in my poem.
Okay,
One
good.
of my poems
What
called
do you think?
I Have a Dream. I think it'll be perfect. Yes.
That's good.
I think it'll be perfect because the borders will be open. We'll be able to do trade between ourselves, therefore promoting our own goods and commodities.
They have a united, they have, what do you call it, unity, Europe. We have the United States of America. You have 54 countries in Africa. Why could they not get benefit for themselves by getting together and uniting?
That would be such a marvelous thing. It's been my dream. And I wrote a poem about it. And just because you mentioned that, I will definitely do the poem when you give me the chance.
Well, we're going to give you a chance
because the thing is, what you're saying is absolutely wonderful. We end up trying to transport or trying to import and export a lot of things in the Western world whereby we could do with ourselves from one country to another and therefore help each other, support each other.
That's right.
And that will really help economically because the Africans, there will not be a lot of brain drain that there is right now because a lot of Africans are going to Europe and to USA because there's not economic viability.
You've come here.
Yes, you know.
Because of that.
Because of
that.
So imagine if now we did have something like an United States of Africa. I think it'll be wonderful. We will even be able to, it will be such a wonderful thing that we'll be able to support the world as a whole. Because if we are united, we can do much more than when we are divided.
Rather, because the old colonial powers would divide and conquer.
Yes,
that's what the people have done. The colonial people have and all that. You had Kwame Nkrumah, and Ghana was in favor of that.
Yes.
We had a friend of mine, Stokely Carmichael, or Kwame Toure.
Yes.
He was very much in favor of that idea. And now maybe it's coming into realization. The African Union has come after, and that's there. And now Mr. Gaddafi supporting the idea. And Mr. Diop, I think, supports the idea. Mr. Siri supports the idea. They represent the African countries, 54 of them, and maybe they're getting their act together and they got a lot to present.
Yes.
And a lot of natural resources.
I'm telling
wealth,
you. Yes,
wealth.
It's a lot. You know, Africa is the richest continent in natural resources.
I think maybe.
Because we have diamond, we have gold. Right now there's coltan that is, coltan is used
I don't know.
Coltan is a mineral that is usually, they have it on our cell phones and PlayStations. There's a chip. That chip is found in Africa.
Really?
And 80% is used worldwide.
Okay.
So imagine if we get our act together as countries, we put our greed aside, we put corruption aside.
There's a lot of both.
Exactly. We'll definitely.
But that's all over the world.
I know it's
but
all over the world.
But it's worse in Africa, I think, sometimes.
I think so. I think so. And that it weakens my heart. It saddens me because I see so much potential in Africa. I see so much that we can be able to help other countries just by getting our acts together.
Well, you could help the whole wide world as an example.
Wide world,
but you could also help yourself.
Exactly.
And that's a good bargain.
And that's a good bargain.
Yeah, that's a good situation.
Yes.
Now, what about, that's good. Okay, that's good. And you'll be able to read your poem about Africa, or you can recite it. You have it in your head.
It's in my head.
The poets carry it around in their head, don't they? You don't have to have a click. You don't have a machine to push a button. It's just there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're also singing and everything. But I mean, back to the other thing about you're Kenya. Okay, so that's a British thing. You had the British. But what about the structure, your own personal, let's say your family.
Yes.
And family is important, and then also the group, and then the Swahili.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand the language in
that. No problem. Let me give you a little bit of an education in terms of that.
Not only me, but the audience.
Yes, and the
we
audience.
are far too ignorant of that continent. Believe me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, as I was starting to say that Africa is a continent, not a country, and Kenya is in the East African region. In Kenya, we have over 48 tribes, or which the right term to use is ethnic group.
Kikuyu.
Kikuyu.
That's I was thinking.
Yeah.
Uganda.
No, it's in Kenya.
In Kenya, it is Kenya.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kikuyu is the largest ethnic group in Kenya.
Right.
And then we have the Luo, and Obama's father is from the Luo.
Okay.
And then we have Luya, we have Kamba, we have my own ethnic group, which is Taita. And then we have other ethnic groups as the Mijikenda.
Are those ethnic associations really important?
Yeah, they are.
You?
To the African people.
Yours was Tatuya?
Taita.
Taita, is that important to you?
It is
Do you think of
important.
yourself as a Taitan?
For me, really, because I'm a Pan-Africanist.
You are Pan-African, yeah.
I don't want to look at myself as just a Taita. I look at myself first as an African, and then I look at myself as an African woman. But when we come down to the nitty-gritties, if I meet a Kenyan who really wants to know where I am from, then I'll say I am Taita.
And that's still important to a lot of people who are there.
Yes.
Yeah, and they relate in an ongoing way, and they help one another. It's like important. We have states and so forth. We don't have that so much here.
And that's what it's called, the tribalism, because people now start looking at, okay, he's from my place, therefore I can associate with the person, I can assimilate to their group and all that. But sometimes it's detrimental. It's not good to us, because when we start thinking about just clustering ourselves in terms of ethnic groups, that's when we have wars. That's when
that
we
awful thing in Rwanda.
Yeah, that's when we
awful
have
Rwanda.
Yeah, then when we have clashes.
Yeah.
So we really need to look at ourselves as Kenyans, because if it wasn't for the fact that we have a country called Kenya, then we would not exist as a tribe.
Okay, how do you feel? You're Tawanyan? What do you call it?
Taita.
Taita. That's a beautiful name. It sounds like it should be out in Hawaii somewhere. You know? Taita. But anyway, it's beautiful. And you'll have then you have kinship relations. You have all kinds of things that'll come from that. Been there for a long time. Very important to people. But you have these different things. And then you're also Kenyan.
Yes.
And then you're also African.
Yes.
You haven't gotten to where you think of yourself as a citizen of the whole wide world yet?
I am thinking of...
You know what I mean?
Give me 5 for that now. I am a citizen of the world. Having come all the way from Kenya to America, I don't look at myself as... I don't want to see myself as set up in a boundary or set up in a group, because especially when I do my art, it does not affect only Africans, it affects all immigrants when I talk about immigration issues or when I talk about cultural issues. So in that way, I can relate to anybody from Brazil, from the United States, from Australia, and therefore I'm a citizen of the world. Remember, before colonialism took place, Africa was a vast land.
It still is vast.
Yeah, but it didn't have like boundaries. Like you can say, this is Angola, this is South Africa, this is Malawi. You were able to move freely from one place to another. So, you know, that should come back. That should come back again, because that's what makes us human beings relate easily with one another, when we know we have freedom to move.
Right, okay, you did. And I think Swahili was very, what they call lingua franca. It's spoken over a wide area, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like Latin used to be within, you know.
And let me explain to you.
You speak
Swahili.
Swahili, so you speak another, do you speak?
Taita. Can you say ki? Taita. Taita.
That's how it's said, right?
Yes,
You speak that language also?
Yes, I speak that language also.
Could you say something in Kaita?
Kitaita.
Say, I'm going to the store and buy some milk or anything.
Navenda dukenyi.
Good, a little more, a couple of sentences.
I can say, Mao navenda dukenyi, nakunde nikuo mariba.
Beautiful.
That means, mother, I'm going to the store. I would like to buy some milk.
Very good. That's very good. It's a beautiful language. It's got a nice sound to it.
But let me
explain. Do you do poetry in that language at all, or not?
I do in Swahili and English.
Why not in Takika?
In Taita. I sing in Taita.
You do sing Taita?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Why do you sing and not do poetry, do you think?
Because okay, a little bit, not everybody would understand it.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a small... Actually, my tribe or my ethnic group is one of the smallest in Kenya. Yeah,
okay.
If people are not careful, if people continue to intermarriage, it could become extinct.
Because they do go extinct.
Yeah, because we intermarriage a lot in Kenya, which is a good thing.
Okay.
And it's because of migrating from the rural to the urban setting.
Yes, that's happening all over the world.
Yeah, so you cannot stay, you've been living in the city, and in the city there are people from all ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah, right.
And then you end up meeting somebody you love and like, because love doesn't know any tribe, thank God, or any boundary.
Thank you. Yes. Have you got that term trademarked? Love doesn't know any tribe.
Yeah.
You got it trademarked? We can use
No,
it? Can I use it?
Yes, you can use it.
Okay, I will use it henceforth. I like that.
Yeah, and ethnic groups. So because of that, people end up meeting together.
Yeah.
Kikuyu, Luo, Kikuyu, Taita, Kamba, Meru, and they have families and life goes on.
Right.
So before I continue, I just wanted to explain to you about how we, in Kenya, our national language is Kiswahili or Swahili.
Swahili, that's the national language?
Yes.
I have the idea, what is there, another language?
Our formal language is English. We speak that in the offices and all that.
Okay.
And they teach everybody in English from kindergarten. And
they would speak in Ghana. In other places where the British were, they would speak
exactly.
English.
And because it's...
like India.
Exactly. And it's because of colonialism. When we were colonized by the British, unfortunately.
Unfortunately?
Yeah, because we need not to be colonized. Why should people...
You need not to be colonized. But if you had to be colonized by the European, would it be better to be colonized by the French or the Germans or the English? Or the Portuguese?
If we had to
or
choose...
any of the other pirates that came down. Which of the pirates were the least bad?
At this point, I wouldn't want to answer that question because I don't think colonization is a good thing.
No, but it happened, didn't it?
It did happen.
Very much part.
Yeah, it did happen.
And in your lifetime, you were in an age that was just seeing the post-colonial development of independent countries.
Exactly.
That's what we needed in the UN.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, what I was trying to say, when it comes to when we were colonized by the British, okay? So when the British, whatever the British colonized the countries, they would try to make them speak English.
Yeah.
That's why we ended up as a Kenyan country speaking English, because the people who are colonized by the French, they speak French.
Yeah, that's right.
And so apart from that, because our Swahili is a mixture of Bantu languages.
Okay.
And Bantu meaning the Khoi Khoi and the San kind of languages of the, I could say, sub-Saharan region.
Okay.
So our ethnic dialects form Swahili. But it has a little bit of an influence from the Arabs because of the barter trade or the exchange of goods and services prior to a pre-colonial era when they used to come and would trade spices for, for cowrie shells, for clothes, for different commodities. So some of the words in Swahili, they are also spoken in Arabic languages.
Oh, really?
Yes, but 80% is all a Bantu kind of dialect.
It's not Indo-European then?
It also has a little bit of European.
No, Indo-European, the language, Okay, the trouble is the world is too interesting. I could talk to you for 25 hours
I would love to talk to you.
We'll talk more, right?
Yes.
We're going to become good friends.
Yes.
That's good. I like that idea. Now, really quickly, and then we got to get on. We've got some clips. We want them to see your band and that kind of stuff. Your family. What was the setting? Was it a warm family setting, intellectually oriented? You're intellectual and you're very good with the poetry and an artist and all of that. Just a little bit of that. And then we'll get into when you came to the United States and let them see the DVD and everything.
Well, I'm blessed to come from a very wonderful family, a very good family. My mother and my father have supported us all. And I'm the...
A lot of brothers and sisters?
I'm the fourth of fourth child. That meaning I'm the last born in my family.
Oh, so you were spoiled by all the others?
No, I wasn't really because my
how did you get to be so spoiled?
I'm not spoiled.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So
I was the last born in my family. I was spoiled by my sisters. Yeah.
So I have three siblings, two brothers and one sister.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad, and I could say that my childhood was perfect. I loved my childhood.
That's the way I feel about mine, too. And that's really important, don't you think?
It is very important. It is very important.
You can be wounded from the beginning if it's bad.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so my parents raised it so well, and my mother and father made sure that education was key. So we are all have our degrees, our undergrad degrees. We all graduated. My sister is an accountant. My brother is... the firstborn of our family, he's doing social service work, and then my other brother, he's in the computers, and then me, I'm an artist.
No, you're the artist.
Yes,
yeah,
and my father is a retired accountant, and my mother a retired secretary.
Professional, that and everything like that.
Yes,
and all of that. So, and all that's important. I'm really proud of that. I'm glad you have that thing. I'm going to just mention we're going to be seeing later tonight, if we can, a thing that's developed in Botswana. It takes place an important venture by the BBC and called the #1 Ladies Detective Agency,
Yes.
which we're going to take a look at and everything. And it's showing that Botswana's close to South Africa and everything. And that's beginning to have something that's coming back to bring the richness of the African
Of the
experience
motherland, yeah.
to here,
Yes.
rather than it going the other way only,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
you've been here since how long?
I've
You're based in Washington,
I'm
right?
based in Washington, D.C., and I've been in the United States 8 years, going to my 9th year. And there's a funny thing there. A friend of mine always used to say when people ask him, how long have you been here? He says, I have seen 8 winters. So I have seen 8 winters. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I love the fact that America gives you the opportunity to do what you love to do because there's support for art as much as we might think about the negatives and the positives of each country. In Kenya now they are waking up into loving art, into supporting it. But in America you see that every venture you bring along, as long as there's a market, you're in business. So I'm a full-time performing artist, singing, writing. I started my own company, Mwalagho Productions.
Right, you have a band?
I have a band.
What kind of music?
We play Afrobeat music.
Afrobeat?
Yes.
It's called Afrobeat?
Afrobeat, but my band is called Afro-Floetry.
Afro-floetry?
Yes.
Floetry,
Yes.
like flow tree. That's not like poetry and floetry.
It's because we
really
do a
beautiful.
little poetry and we do a little bit of singing and then we do a little bit of dance, so we give it a name, Afro-Floetry.
Did DJ Gaddafi play any of your music at that party?
No, he did not.
You didn't get a chance to,
Yes,
but he could have.
He could have,
and
yes.
It rocks.
It rocks, yes. As you're getting, we're definitely going to show the audience.
Yes,
the
we got to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm here in America and I don't want to use the word struggling, but I'm trying to make it as a full-time and a big-time artist.
Okay.
Doing something different from hip-hop, but doing Afrobeat. And so we're looking for sponsors, you know.
Okay,
We're looking for people to support our band, to support what we are doing, because we are...
And to support the cultural expression that you're bringing. And it's very important to bring it from another land and another... it's important for us to do that because we've been exporting, you know, all the time.
And we're looking for booking agents because we are available for booking for schools, university, companies, organizations, and private events.
Okay.
And we are also looking for producers because we know that it's something unique and it's both educational and entertaining.
You're talking about the whole Afrobeat.
Yes, the whole Afrobeat.
It's music that could become top of the chart.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, at this point in our lives, we need, because you know what? The world has become a global village.
Yes, indeed. That was Marshall McLuhan.
Yes, the world has become a global village. So you cannot sit at your corner and think you are the best, or you cannot sit at your corner and fail to know about what is going on the other side.
Right.
We have to know what is going on with each other.
Right. And that's the lesson of the time in which we live.
Yeah.
All of that's background, and it's so good. I so welcome you to the United States and all of that. Now, you have said that you would be able to do some poetry.
Yes.
And you can do that right out of your head, right?
Yes.
Now, how can we approach this where you can perform? And we got a DVD that we're going to show.
Yes.
But do you have a couple of poems that you could say, lay on us, as they say? Or what one might you want to recite? And how does it work? I
usually stand up.
Or you do storytelling, too.
Okay, it's both storytelling and poetry.
Yeah.
And also this is one of my work that I do. Sometimes I perform solo without the band.
Yeah.
And I visit schools, I teach in schools.
Yeah, good.
And I do a lot of things to explain to people of what I do and teach them.
Storytelling is really important in Africa, I think, as everywhere, but particularly there, I think.
Yes, it is very important, and we don't do as much as storytelling as we used to do.
No,
and
it's
therefore
a trend,
our culture is kind of falling away because we are lacking the knowledge of what our great-grandparents used to do.
We got the same problem here. Yeah, we used to have that. Yeah, but now how can you do it by sitting there?
Yes, I can do it by sitting there.
Should I introduce you?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present in the center ring, Anna, take it away.
Well, Harold, this is my poem. It's called Bring in the Flavor.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this poem, and then maybe when we get time, I'll do another one.
Okay.
And this one is called Bring in the Flavor.
Flavor.
As I speak, rhymes flow into my mind, and as I blaze the stage, I hope you will relate and comprehend my linguistic phrases. As I speak your dialectic phrases and use my accentual tongue to bless thee with words of wisdom. I am a a victim of discrimination. No, not because I'm black, and sure enough, I ain't white, but because I am an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. See, I speak the same words, comprehend the same phrases, but just because my tongue rolls in a different way, that don't mean I'm dumb. And see, yes, comprende English, because I probably speak and know more English than you. See, I'm tired of being labeled, people talking to me slowly, hey, like I'm dumb, having some disability of some sort. Shoo, disability ain't nobody's choosing, but sister, brother, I am fine, 100% sane. Matter of fact, much better than you in many ways than one. I mean, if you cannot say my name right, Mwalagho, then you have no right to tell me to say water if I know it as water. I mean, what is the meaning of this conversation? And what is the purpose of communication? To drink water or to say water? So, honey child, please, if you have not walked in my shoes, you have no say in my world. And don't you dare command me to walk in your shoes, because I love the smell of my feet, the feel of my shoes, and the history of my life. I mean, have you ever seen a monkey before? I mean, in real life, do you know what it does? How it jumps? Have you had the pleasure of walking bare feet, feeling the sand tickling your toes? Have you been cramped up in a bus, loaded with people, each talking their own languages, but their faces looking so similar? Have you had the pleasure of dancing to the rhythm of the drums and the music of the ululation, making you feel so exhilarated? See, no. You cannot understand. Just like I do not understand the Halloween madness, the calling before coming to visit, the biggest sale of the year, the exchange of gifts at Christmas, and the time clock moving forward and backwards. My ways are not your ways, and your ways cannot be mine. So please, do not try to change me, because I have no pleasure in asking you to change, for I love you anyway. Whether Hispanic, African, American, Indian, Asian, we are all God's children. So why can't we relate, love our difference, exterminate our ignorance that is killing us, and bring flavor into this world? Thank you.
Bravo! 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 Bravo!
Thank you.
Author! Yay!
Mr. Harold.
That's beautiful,
And I want to tell you that
and it had a real, good.
that poem is on my CD. I have a CD of my
You have
poetry.
a CD, right? Yeah, we're going to let them know how they can get it. Yeah,
people can buy it online. And it's my name. The name of my CD is called Ukweli.
Ukweli, what's that mean?
Which is Swahili meaning the truth.
The truth.
And all the
How you say?
The Ukweli.
Ukweli.
Yes.
Ukweli.
Yes. Ukweli.
Okay, good. That's the truth.
Yes.
In
yes.
Swahili.
In Swahili.
That's very good. That's beautiful, darling.
Thank you.
You put that all together?
Yes, I did. Yes, with
You're
God's
very talented.
help.
You're a very talented person that's got a message.
Yes.
It's got meaning.
Yes.
Do you have another one? You had one about Africa,
Yes,
Mother Africa,
I have
or
one.
is that not fair, or is that fair for you to do? The one about Africa?
I will do it for you, Mr. Harold.
Okay.
This one is called I Have a Dream.
Okay.
They say that I come from the dark continent, Africa. They say that I come from the dark continent, Africa. The last time I checked the word dark in the dictionary, it meant evil or wickedness without knowledge or enlightenment, a state of ignorance difficult to understand, the absence of light. But I still believe in Africa, and I'm proud to be an African, because even though my continent has been marred by civil wars, ethnic wars, tribal wars, and HIV and AIDS is killing my people in masses, while the world watches and the media shows with no remorse, please do not let the media fool you, because to them news is only when it bleeds it reads. But I'm not going to abandon my people, and I am not going to disown my ancestors, and no matter what they say, I am not going to deny my race. Instead, I have chosen to stand up for Africa. I have chosen to defend my history, protect my land, eliminate the perpetrators and their wickedness, and declare peace in the name of justice. Let us not forget that Africa is the richest continent in natural resources, from gold to diamond, rubber to copper, timber to oil. Africa is widely known for its tourism industry. Africa exports tea, coffee, just to name a few. Africa is beautifully endowed with the Great Rift Valley, the Victoria Falls, the pyramids, the oceans, the seas, and even its people. And now, 80% of the world's supply of coltan, a mineral that is used to manufacture cell phones and PlayStations in the whole world, is found in Africa. Tell me, what darkness comes from all this light? Yet some of my people want to turn our blessings to curses, letting their flesh control their spirit, making a brother kill his own brother, kill his own father, rape his own mother, and his own sister in the name of money, power, riches, and fame. Why are we failing to see the big picture? That if we all stand up together, rid ourselves of all the corrupt leaders, we can attain riches beyond our imagination. For we are already rich. And if we have to trade, let us not exchange our minerals for cheaper change while the Western world reaps all the benefits. Let us not exchange our minerals for arms to kill our own people. Who then will stand for us if we cannot stand together for ourselves? Instead, let us exchange our minerals for better machinery and technology so that we can become self-sufficient. And instead of depending on the West, we can all work together. For if we let our selfish interests control us, some of our leaders putting our lives on the line just to fatten their big fat bellies, then we are saying that we did not learn from colonization and slavery. And it will be sad to say that history repeats itself. Why are we helping to build other nations and continents while we watch Mother Africa crumble and fall? I am crying for revolution, and I am searching for followers, and I am looking for peacemakers. And until the world says that there shall be no more blood, no more rape, no more poverty on my cell phone, no more blood, no more rape, no more poverty on my diamonds, no more blood, no more rape, no more poverty on my gold, and no more blood, no more rape, no more poverty in my oil. We as a people need to stand up together and defend what is ours, fight for what is ours, on what is ours, in peace and not in war. So just like Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream, I too have a dream. I have a dream that one day Africa shall lend and give aid to the world. Oh yes. And I have a dream that one day we shall find the cure to HIV and AIDS and rid our continent of this dreaded disease. And I have a dream that one day our children shall teach the Western children our culture instead of it being vice versa. And I have a dream that one day all the African heads of state will come together, speak in one voice, and together form and create one country, one continent, the United States of Africa. Thank you, Mr. Harold.
That's beautiful, darling.
Thank you.
That's an inspiration.
Thank you.
That's really good. You got a million of them. You got that. And you write, you do it all yourself. And now you put some of this to music, too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe we should move along. We could talk for 15 hours. But now, you can put maybe we should try to move. We got a couple DVD things you brought in.
Yes, we should show the DVD.
Now, you could set it up for us, as they say.
Okay.
What are we going to be looking at in this first DVD presentation?
In first DVD presentation, you're gonna look into our band, Afro. This is a band that deals with music, dance, poetry, and old golden East African music.
How long have you been together? How many are in it? Who's involved? What are the instruments?
I actually formed the band.
Okay.
And it's been a year now.
Only you formed the band all Africans?
Yes.
All
no,
in
not
the
all
Washington
Africans.
area?
No.
Okay, you're getting world.
Yeah, we have, yes, it's world music.
Okay.
So we have 3 Africans, one guy from Cameroon, we have somebody from Ghana, we have 2 friends of mine from America, and then we have 1 person from Nigeria. And then plus myself, I'm from Kenya. We're opening it up for people who are interested in our kind of music.
That sounds like an awful lot of African input.
Yes.
And you got this new sound, you call it flow.
Afro. Meaning Africa, floetry.
Flowetry. That's a combination of flow and poetry.
Yes.
Flowetry.
Yes.
And you don't have that trademark?
No, we
You
don't
have it registered with the Copyright Office?
No.
We can talk about flowetry now.
But there is a band.
Flowetry
No.
is a new word.
No, but
it'll be African flowetry.
Mr. Harold,
Yes.
there is a band called Flowetry.
Oh, I see.
An
I'm
American,
not too up on that.
an American. So that's why we're calling ours Afro Flowetry.
Okay.
Because we cannot call it Flowetry. That is already taken.
Oh, African flowetry is not.
Yeah, African Flowetry.
But flowetry is African.
Flowetry
Was
is
flowetry
American.
an African? And it's an American band called Flowetry?
Yes.
Are they well known among the young?
They are well known.
Yeah.
Yes. And
is
they
it hip hop?
Hip hop, yeah.
You like
hip hop with
hip-hop?
poetry. I like their kind of hip hop because I always like songs with meaning.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do, because your poetry reflects
Yes.
that. To your meaning, it's like, it's not just all abstract.
No.
Although that's good too in poetry and everything. You have a poetic sense and everything. Okay, so you've got this band, you put it together, and you call it African Flowetry.
Exactly.
Thank you for putting me hip to Flowetry. I haven't heard it. I'm falling way behind. It used to be
Don't
Tommy
worry.
Dorsey, but that goes another time.
Yes, there
way
goes
back,
another time.
But,
yes.
but okay, so why don't we then set it up then, right?
Okay, sure.
And it goes for about 4 or 5 minutes? Or
Yes. It's 2 songs cut short. Mama Zoera is not our original song, but it's a song which used to be sung by a famous guy. You might know him. His name is Fundi Konde. And Fundi Konde sang with Miriam Makeba.
Oh, yeah,
Miriam
yeah,
Makeba.
yeah.
And then the next one is called Let Them Talk, which is also my original song. So I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, okay. Let's play that. We're talking now with Anna. Let's set that up and run it now then, please. Thank you. There you go.
Yes.
That's really good. It's a little muffled here on ours, but anyway, that's really good music, and you sure can shake it, girl. You're great dancing and singing, and the music is really rocks, as you say.
Do you think we can be able to get some sponsorship?
I would hope so. I would think so. There'd be all kinds of people, particularly with I think your message, the thing you're interested with the Trans-Africa and that kind of thing, it is so right.
Yes.
That I think there's going to be a number of institutions and people at all levels of society in all parts of the world who will be able to pick up on the message that you're trying to get across, and the art is obviously there.
Yes.
And so I would think that you are marked for very good situation.
Oh, thank
maybe
you
for
so
stardom.
Yeah.
Maybe for stardom.
Thank you so
much. Could you become, what do you think? You think maybe you could?
Yeah, I think
you
yes,
think you got what it takes to be a star?
I got what it takes. I got what it takes, and I always say, when we get there, because I'm imagining Grammys and Oscars and all this Grammy awards.
Maybe Academy Awards?
Academy Awards, Music Awards.
Move over world.
Yes, because
Anna coming through.
Yes. Because you have to set your goals up there.
Yeah.
You cannot set them
might
down
as well.
there. Yes.
You might as
And
well.
because our work is unique, we are asking for people to really assist us, support producers, booking agents.
In their own interest.
So,
you will be discovered.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Thank
you don't
you.
have to do anything but be your own sweet self and your own creative self with all the great creative stuff. And the world will come to you, I think, don't you?
I thank you
It
so
hasn't
much.
come to you yet?
It has come to
but
me in
it's
small
coming
packages.
in little bits.
Yeah, little bits.
Right?
But yeah, and sometimes you want to, like right now, I feel, because I've been doing full-time performing by myself with a band for over 4 years now.
4 years, a long time.
And but I started performing since 8.
You said you were 8 years old.
So
8 only? What'd you do? What's the first thing you ever did?
The first thing I did was I was in a choir, school choir.
Yeah.
And that time it was very interesting. How they choose you to be in the school choir is they measure you. You stand up.
By your height.
By your height. Then they say, okay, you're too tall, you can be. Or you're too short, then you can be.
Were you just right or what?
Yes, I was right.
Oh, right side.
Yeah, I was the right side.
Didn't matter how you sounded.
And I was loud too.
Loud helps. Yes, loud helps. Yeah.
So the teacher said, okay, you are gonna lead us in our songs.
Yeah.
And we traveled. We were 8 years old, and it's like, imagine you live in California and you come to New York.
Yeah,
to
that's a big thing. Where'd you travel from?
We've traveled
from. Were you in Nairobi or where were you?
I was born in Nairobi, but my father got transferred to Mombasa, which is the coast area.
On the coast, yeah.
Yeah, and
different environment.
Very good too.
Hot,
yeah.
Humid.
Yes.
Up in the highlands, it's more comfortable, no?
Yeah, but
you like Mombasa?
I like water. I'm a water sign. They say.
Now you got all these pirates up in Somalia.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? Are you familiar with it?
I had a little bit today. Actually, before I came here, I was looking at something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that, yes, piracy is bad, and I also agree that piracy is bad. Yeah. But also, I didn't know the fact that there were also the Western world was depositing some toxic waste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I said to myself, for every action there'll be a reaction.
Usually there is, and there was, and there's probably some reason behind that.
Yes.
And it's like Robin Hood.
Yes.
or you remember Robin Hood, right? He was robbing from the rich to give to the poor, and the system doesn't serve the poor adequately now.
Exactly.
So there are people. George III, who was the king of England, called George Washington a terrorist. They called Nelson Mandela a terrorist. He sat 27 years in prison on Robbins Island because he thought people ought to have the right to vote.
Exactly.
They called him terrorists. Because so the world's not there yet.
Yes.
They don't have it, and the leadership doesn't have what's required.
Right,
So it needs to have some inspiration from the intellectuals, and they're falling down on the job.
Yes.
We haven't got a system, and so there's a lot of things. Somalia is a terrible situation. 90% unemployment, poverty, all these kind of things, and they're dropping off nuclear waste and other kinds of waste off the coast of Somalia, taking advantage of the least advantage, as always these people have done throughout history, and that kind of thing. So there's some justice behind that, or understanding of why.
There's an understanding, there's an understanding, because a person who's maybe going to enjoying herself in a ship or anything and has nothing to do with toxic waste need not to be killed by a pilot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but as you said, there's an understanding, and as I said again, for every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah.
There has to be fairness in the world.
Yeah.
The rich have to be...
And there's not fairness enough.
It's not. The world is not fair.
No.
No.
Never has been.
Never has been. And
maybe it will be.
Maybe it will be.
Maybe it must
when
be.
When Africa becomes United States of Africa,
right.
We might have some fairness.
That would be a big step.
Yes.
If we could get that done, and they have to realize it's all one village, like you say,
exactly.
and we're all part of one system.
And we are all connected. Do you know that maybe if we trace back to maybe 50 years, I don't know how many, 20, maybe me and you are related.
Probably. Well, no, all humanity is related.
Yeah, we are all connected.
We're I mean, science is saying we're all African.
Yes.
We're all Africa. Yes. We're all out of Africa 200,000 years ago.
Exactly.
That's where it evolved. That's where it came, right near Kenya. I think Kenya is the Eden of Africa. I mean, it's in Eden, or maybe Olduvai Dive, or at least in Addis or something. That's where humanity evolved.
It's true.
And then they migrated out around the world and everything. But that's the navel of the world. 200,000 years, 10,000 generations. It's about time that we got it right.
It's about time we got it right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you look at it seriously, to my point of view, I feel like as they say, human beings are also species.
Yeah, we are a species. We're all one species.
We are species. So just like we got what are the dinosaurs disappeared.
65 million years ago.
Yeah, if we're not careful, human beings will start disappearing.
Well, that's a theme I'm always talking about, because we have weapon systems that now, if they're unleashed by the big shots, it could be the end of the whole species. Couldn't happen in the Second World War. That wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
In terms of evolution.
Exactly.
But now we got this thing, and we got to have some sort of. We also got a capability of taking care of everybody in a way that has grown.
And do you know that?
And we don't do it. We have outdated institutions and assumptions.
It's sad. But
we need a qualitative change, like a birth to a new consciousness.
I'm telling you.
Yeah?
Do you think it can happen? Yes.
I think it must.
Okay.
I think because we've been protected. We've been trying to kill each other. We hit each other on the head, and we do that, and we've been doing that throughout all of history.
Yeah.
You steal the grain from somebody else so your tribe can be rich.
Yeah.
And all of that politics, nation states are out of date.
Yeah.
They really are. We're all one. And we've come to a point where the weapon system, I believe, is modeling, are now species lethal. Only since about 1970. So it's a brand new existential reality on the destructive side. On the positive side, we have transcended material scarcity in terms of our capability, but we don't have institutions that let us do what we know we're collectively able to do because we're tied up with outdated institutions out of history that's been transformed. And the intellectuals are falling down on the job of providing an alternative to those who are caught up in outdated institutions.
We're damaging our environment in such a bad way. And
I think so.
Yeah, so it's high time we get it together.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And it's necessary. It's like a pregnancy.
Exactly.
At 9 months, the water breaks.
Exactly.
Yeah? And so I think it's a pregnant time where we're going to have to come into a liberated order for everybody and all the creatures and the ecology and everything.
If we really want to survive, we have to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
If we want to survive and have this ability to take them, we're very unique in terms of the creatures. We can make the world different through extension of consciousness in technology. Now the technology's reached the point where we're going to have to move to another stage, like speciation. Or we're going to have like punctuated equilibrium, a new relationship to the cosmos than what we've had out of all of history, don't you think? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And so the artists will take us there, and the intellectuals, and they're falling down on the job. You're trying.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to tell you that I think at this point God is using artists, spoken word people, poetry people, to talk about the change that we need as a human being.
Could well be.
Yeah, because I meet a lot of good poets, a number of them, who even this guy from Somali, his name is Canaan. And Canaan, and he talks really positive about the human change that needs high time. And I think that's what I'm saying right now. People who really are concerned about saving the human being as a race, saving the environment, saving as a species.
A race is a subgroup.
Yes.
It's all one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a species, we need to support people like us who are putting the right message out there. It's all about saving each other. It's all about peace. It's all about rejecting greed, rejecting corruption, realizing that we are better than that.
Yeah.
You know, we are better than somebody thinking that if I'm rich, then, you know, I need to step on other people's...
We better be better than that, or else we're not going to be.
Yes.
That's something that's
and
new.
Somebody, a friend of mine told me there's enough for everybody in the world.
Yeah, that's a different thing. It never has been. No, if you measure it, there never has been. We've always had scarcity.
Yeah.
So if I win, you have to lose.
Lose, yeah.
That's the way it's been throughout all of history.
Yeah,
So then the strong can beat up the weak, make themselves stronger, all of that. And that's now changed by the technological ability to take care of all of humanity and the creatures.
And everybody happy.
And everybody works in a way where everybody matters. And that's a new thing that doesn't relate to any of our inherited institutions, notions of human nature, or anything.
Yes.
So it's a qualitative change, and the artists have always been the antenna of the race. They pick up on things early.
Yes.
And so the artists are trying to do it, but the intellectuals are not. The political people would be the last, and the business would be the last.
Exactly.
But they're also part of it.
Yeah.
But then the intellectual and the artistic are falling down on the job of providing an alternative that can be actually able to operate in terms of how we're going to operate the planet.
True.
Very important and interesting time to be a live participant and conscious, don't you think?
Oh, yes.
If you lived 300 years ago, it'd take 10 years to invent a tack. Now every day there's a revolution in every field, you know.
If you, as they say, if you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, if you snooze, you lose. Yeah, it's probably going to come from the youth too.
Yeah.
Do you think we have time to get one more clip in or
not?
Well, we're running almost short of time.
I could do something, just a poem by myself.
Rather than the clip.
Rather than the clip.
Okay.
How many minutes do we have?
Well, I'm not sure. It would be around 5. It would be good if we could be known because we forgot to get the timing going here.
Don't worry. I want to leave everybody.
So what we'll do is talk, and they will roll the credits at the right time. But it's around 5 minutes we got left.
I want to do something very short just to encourage a lot of people because what cripples us, Mr. Chana, is fear. So I want people not to be afraid. Because the fact that I was not afraid, that's why I'm here today speaking with you. If I was afraid, I probably would be sitting somewhere complaining, working at McDonald's. I'm not saying working at a McDonald's is a bad thing. You have to start from somewhere. But if you have fear in your mind, then you cannot see that the world is an open book.
Why do people have fear?
People have fear because they fear failing sometimes, and they never know that failing is the best thing that can help you to move you to the next level, because you have to ask yourself, I failed here. What can I do so that not to fail again?
Or how
because
can we
everybody has failed in their life at one point in their life.
I've never failed.
You've never
failed? I've never had a problem. And you never failed. Never had a problem.
I've failed before.
No, I'm kidding. We've all failed, yeah. But we can't allow it to be the big fail where we let off the weapons that are going to wipe ourselves out because of deep-seated hatreds or something that gets into the big-time weapons that exist, because that's the end of the whole ballgame.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that way for all of human history until just the last 30 or 40 years.
And then I want to say something else about fear.
Okay.
Another thing that causes fear is listening to other people.
Talking about how devil is.
Yes, telling you, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. If you have an idea, go ahead, you know, because when you listen to other people, they will tell you why you should not do it.
No, it's not safe to do that. You better not say anything. You might make him unhappy.
Mum's the word.
Hey, mum's the word. Right.
So this one is called Survivor.
Survivor.
You are the hope of our future, the foundation of our next generation, the heroes of our time. For the wealthiest and most successful person is not the one with all the riches and the fame, but the one who has endured and persevered through adversity, suffered through the pain, and in the end, accepted calamity as a chance to grow, a golden opportunity to succeed, a time to be the victor and not the victim. For fear is like your close, jealous friend. Fear is the only one that knows your vision, your dreams, and your goals. See, fear has visualized the same thing but never succeeded because it feared. It has dreamt the same dreams but never tried because it was afraid. Thus the word fear. So fear is your only challenger and competitor that you must defeat in order to win. No matter your circumstances, how big your struggle seems to be, and the cross that you bear seems unbearable, remember you can rest but never quit, because to quit is to give up on yourself. To quit before your time is failing to live. Remember, nothing lasts forever. Even colonization came and left. Apartheid is a thing of the past. Bad leaders have passed on, paving way to democracy. Polio was once an epidemic, and then we found a vaccine.
Thank you, Mr.
And one Thursday night, the Berlin Wall came crumbling. crumbling
It did.
down. So whatever you're going to, this too shall pass, for the Spirit of God cannot take you where the grace of God cannot keep you. Thus, let us reach deep in our hearts and find the passion within to conquer our giants and emerge victors. For we have talked the talk. Now let us walk the walk. Now let us stand up and pay tribute to our departed. Let us all stand up and be proactive to cure the wounded spirit. Let us stand up and give thanks and praise. For this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you.
Hallelujah!
Yeah. And I want to say, my website is
Yeah.
www.anamwalagho.com.
Mwalagho.
Anamwalagho.
Mwalagho.
And it's ANNAM for Mary, WALAG as in girl,
Now
HO.com.
say it with real feeling, your last name. Say it.
Anamwalagho.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's a beautiful name,
And
don't
I
you
have,
think?
yes, and
Mwalagho.
yes, and I have a MySpace also with my two names, and my Facebook, and also my number is 703-899-5549.
Give her a call.
Yes,
Give her a
sponsor us,
call.
produce us, and
yes,
book us to come and perform at your events
absolutely,
and
and
venues.
pick up on it. And that fear has got to be gotten out of the souls of
Yes,
everybody. We got to
everybody.
make it so the people who have had to be because so many people